Hi, my name's David, and I'm here to give you an overview of Disquera People. So if it's your first time logging in to Disquera People, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your company name. Of course, you can update it here. Now, this is where you're going to select your country. So I'm going to select United States, but please make sure you select the country that you are going to do your HR in, because this is tax compliant based upon the country listed here. So if you're in Canada, Singapore, whatever country, make sure you select the one that's correct for you. Next, we're going to put in the address. And you can see I just typed in partial address and all of a sudden it'll pop up. And I can just click it and it automatically updates. Now let's click next. Now this is your pay schedule. So for example, I'm just going to type in monthly, and you can have multiple ones. So this is just the first one you're creating, and you can have it monthly, weekly, twice per month, bi-weekly. Now, why may you have to have multiple pay schedules? For example, if you have office staff, maybe it's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, while you may have shop floor workers that have a different timing altogether. We also have ad hoc pay schedules, so for those people that come in and just do jobs ad hocly. We can choose our work week, like again, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all up to you. And we can select the pay date. When are you going to pay the employees? Is it on the 28th? Is it the last working day of the month? And when's your first pay date? So since it's June, we're going to use June 30th. And you'll notice that you can't go back in time. So for example, I can't select the first. You only can select time or date in the future. Let's click next. And let's add an employee. For example, Jim Brown. Now the key thing here is that you have to put in the email address. The email will be sent to that user or employee, and that way he can verify his account. Then he can go online and view his pay slip, apply for leave, any expense claims, and he also can download the mobile app and also do it there as well. Now you can put in the basic salary. So for example, let's say 6,000, and then we have a choice: per year, which is terrible; per month, good; per hour, insane. So you can go and decide how you want to do it here. Let's click finish. Sit back and relax while we set up your organization. So this is the key thing when you first log in, what is going to be shown. Next, I'm going to switch to a company that already has a lot of data. So let's go out of here. Let's go to electronics. And let's select people. Now let's click on employees, and let's click on the employee list. Inside here, I can see all my different employees, and we have a tab here, employees and contractors. This may change based upon your tax registry. We have the import employee file, so this is where I can click here, and I can download our sample template, but this is just for you as a reference. You can fill out the information as you require. If you already have your employee data, you can go and just click browse, select it, and put it in. So for example, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to download it. And I'm just going to go drag and drop. There we go. Just drag and dropping in here. I'm clicking next. I just want to show you the mapping information here. So based upon how you download or what type of Excel sheet you have here, you can click on this. So for example, maybe you don't call it first name, maybe you call it first or some other information, and then you can select where it should be mapped. So this is the Disquera headers, and this is the import file headers. And so for example, for first name, I can look for what my field is called and select it here. Same thing with all these other fields as well. For example, maybe EIC code, maybe it has a different name under your Excel sheet, and you can select it. Once everything's mapped, you can click next, and then you can see if the information looks correct. And if everything looks correct, you can go and click submit. If something does not look correct, for example, payment method, I can delete it and I can select it here. And for example, if it applies to more than one column, I can apply to the entire column. And then of course it'll ask me to input my wonderful account number. So I'm going to select cash, apply, and submit. And the employees have been added. After that, I can see my employees here. I can select them. And I have a choice. I can delete them. If I click on the three dots, I can edit or terminate. But I'm just going to delete these. Yep. And so long as there's no payment records or any pay runs attached to them, then you're able to delete. If not, just terminate. Now, if I go here, I can edit. Inside here, I can see the employee ID, email address. I can see the phone number. I can see the designation. So, for example, sales manager. I can see my spelling is awful. I can click on date of birth. I can choose the date when he was born. Now, why is this a mandatory field? It all depends on the type of job they have and different information, because some jobs require you to be over a certain age. Like being a bartender. You can't be a 14-year-old bartender. You have to be over a certain age to actually tend bar. Then, of course, we have gender, marital status, password. These are all optional fields. And based upon the country and your requirements, you may or may not need to input them in. Your joining date. When did you join the company? And your date of confirmation. Now we can input the address. Any compensation details. Set the effective date for the salary. So if it's not effective on that date, I can say it's effective from when. And these details can be imported using our import file. So all this information I'm inputting here is the same information you can import in the import file. So I'm just selecting his salary, payment details. So for example, if it's cash, you don't have to input anything. Check, just employer's bank account number. And if it's direct deposit, what's the account type, the routing number. Account number. Of course, this is all made up numbers. Actually, let me just do cash. But you put in the correct information here, it'll allow it. Now inside here, I have fixed components, so this is where I can add a component. We'll talk about components and benefits later on. Any variable components, any benefits. Now inside here, just to show you, this is the statutory compliance or the tax compliance. And this changes based upon which country you're in. Since I selected US, they're asking me for a social security number. But if you're in other countries, then other information will be shown here. So for example, inside here, marital filing status, dependency, other income deductions, extra withholding. If C2 is marked in W4, then click here. Select state indicator, Fed WHT for EE, live, work in the same territory, return all sales, resident country, statutory EE indicator. So this is all your statutory requirements for the US. If you select other countries, it'll also show accordingly. I'm just going to save it. All right, so let's go on to components. So inside here, let's click on components. And then again, we have import import component values. The key thing, a component is additional earning or additional deduction based upon where you're located. You can think of it, for example, like a bonus. So if I were to add a component, so a bonus, and then we can call that an earning. And is it a fixed or a variable? And is it percentage of basic salary, percentage of specific components, amount, per day of the work date. So maybe percentage of your basic salary. So maybe 3% of your salary, for example, or maybe it's, 10%. You can change it to however you want. It all depends on your company requirements. Deduction, let's see, what would be a deduction? Well, if your bonus was a deduction, then something terrible is going on in that company. Thank you, you did a good job, now pay us money. But deduction could be, for example, tax or anything like that. But it says statutory requirements is already built in. So if you have any deductions, you can just add them in here if they're not in the system. And we have frequency here. Is this every pay run, monthly, quarterly, or yearly? So for example, a bonus would be yearly. And of course, we have some deductions here under components itself. We have like HSA family, dental insurance, vision insurance, health insurance. Okay, so these are some examples of deductions. Tuition reimbursement, travel reimbursement, personal use of company. So you can see it here already generated. The key thing is we have the import component value. So what is this? I can select the employees. So inside here, I go here, I can download the sample file, input my employees, and then I can put what the component value should be. So I can just upload it. I don't have to change it one by one by one, which can be quite painful. Now let's go on to benefits. And let's add a benefit. Benefit name. Maybe let's call it, what's it called? Maybe, health. Health, and then is the type of deduction for pre-tax or post-tax. Employee contribution, how much is he contributing? Employee contribution. And we can determine if this is a fixed amount or percentage based upon your requirements. Annual maximum contribution. And does this apply to all users or a specific user? And then you can save it. Now let's go to pay schedule. So this is where you can create your additional pay schedules. So inside here, if I want to add more than one, as we were talking about before, not all your employees may be on the same pay schedule. So for example, maybe I want a weekly pay schedule, and this one is for monthly, maybe shop floor. And maybe they work Monday through Saturday. I can select the work period, for example, maybe June. Is this applicable to all users? Nope, this is only applicable to James Jones. He's our shop floor worker. And I can save it. So I can specify which users have which type of pay schedule. Next, let's generate a payroll. And let's click on pay run. So you can see I've generated a lot of pay runs. So let's add a pay run here. We're going to select monthly. We're going to select the pay date. And we can see pay day is the last working day of the month. Work period. This one's going to be for June. And we're going to apply this just to, let's see, David. We're going to process. So inside here, I can see how much he makes per the pay run. I can see regular hours versus days, and I can update the regular hours versus days here. If there's any overtime, I can click overtime there and I can input it. So maybe 8 hours of overtime. I can see any additional earnings here, any deductions, withholding, Social Security, Medicare, and the state withholding. And I can see my health deduction here. And I can, of course, see the employer's taxes, so federal, Medicare, unemployment, and the state unemployment, and the health. I can see the net payment here. I can also edit it. So this is where you can input loss of pay. So for example, maybe 5. Regular hours I can update, overtime. I can add and remove any components or benefits. So if I click on add, you You can see I can select the component or benefit here. I can see the employee taxes, employer taxes, and I can save it. Just take note, if I change the overtime here, you'll notice that update the overtime hours and hours worked will be reflected after clicking next. So if you update here and nothing changes, don't panic. You just have to click next. And now it's been updated. With my loss of pay, I check and make sure everything looks correct. I process the payroll, and it says, to ensure the accuracy, please review your payroll numbers and make sure they're 100% correct. Do you wish to continue to proceed to process your payroll? Yes. And then from here, I click finish. We also can view summary here. And after that, everything's complete. I can click on the eye icon, and I can view my good old payroll summary. Now, if I click on the employee, and I click on the employee here, and I drill in, I can see my amount, my gross pay, my taxes, my deductions. I can see my recent pay stubs, and I can click here to download my pay slip. So you can see here my earnings statement, my name, Social Security number. Please take note, this is not my real Social Security number. I wonder if anyone really does have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 secured Social Security number. I can see my employee earnings, my employee tax withhold, my employee deductions, and I can see my check amount here. So my gross earnings, pre-tax deduction, taxes, post-tax deductions, net pay. But please take note, this changes based upon your different country compliances. This is for the US. If you're in another country, it'll show differently. Next, let's go to reports. So inside here, I can click on reports. And this is where you can see your payroll report. And again, these are your statutory requirement reports. This changes again based upon your country taxes compliance. So for example, this is the US, so you have your W-4, W-2, W-3, W-9, your 1099, and of course your Form 941, 944, and your I-9. Just quickly want to mention, if you don't like our wonderful payslip, we have Payslip Designer here. So inside here, you can copy our payslip, or you can create a payslip from scratch. So I'm just copying it, for example, and you can see our sections. We can see our dividers, our text, our images, our grids, earnings, deductions, and footer. Now, if I drag a text field over here, and I click on it, here's your system selected field. So if you want a specifically system selected field, this is where it goes. Company name, company address, employee name, pay period, pay date, basic salary, and of course, all your statutory compliance ones, and you can determine which one you need. All right, so next, let's go to eLeave. So this is our leave management system. Inside here is where you're going to be able to create your leave type, select your holidays, and input and set up your company information. And this is where your employees are going to apply for leave. So inside here, I can see the dashboard, the annual leave, sick leave, pending for approval, my monthly leave, company holidays, pending application, and yearly leave report. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to leave management. Inside here, I'm going to click new. I can put in the leave name, mental health leave. I can put in the number of days per year, 200. Okay, maybe 10. If I'm lucky, probably only one. Okay, so the days per year, leave prorate, number of days, number of months are disabled, how you want to prorate it. How it's accrued. Is it accrual every yearly, monthly, or one time? And leave your accrual on the first day of the year or is it on the last day of the year? Any leave description? Is it carried forward? Meaning if I don't take a mental health day, can I carry it on to the next year and the year after and the year after? And I can put in the maximum leave balance and the description, and I can put carry forward leave here. What type of color you want to show? Meaning, should this be yellow, purple, gray, orange? Does it depend on the gender? So you can think of like this as maternity or paternity leave. So you may have different ones based upon the gender, also your marital status. So you can have different leaves based upon your marital status. This may not really apply in the US, but in Malaysia, for example, there is so many days leave after you get married. So again, it's based upon which country you have. It'd be very sad. Okay, sorry. Just go ahead. You can select the marital status, and then you can have it. You can allow for unpaid leave. So this is where you can have allow for unpaid leave, maximum consecutive days that you can apply for leave. You allow a person to leave for a month and not come back, or you only take 1 or 2 days at a time. And apply before confirmation date, meaning does this apply before or after the confirmation? Some people allow you to take leave before it. Some companies say only after you're confirmed you can take it. And years of service-based entitlement. So for example, maybe it's your first year, you get 10. And maybe you're, let's say 1 through 5, you only get 5 days leave. And now you're used to the company, you only get 1 day leave. But in reality, it goes up. I'm just joking around here, but usually, the number of days you have or number of years that you continue on, the number of days usually increase. And this is where you can change it based upon years of service. And then I can go and I can save it. Next, let's go to leave adjustments. So inside here, I can add new leave adjustments. So I can select the employee, select the leave type. I can see it here, and I can add and subtract. So for example, maybe I want to add, let's see, maybe 1 day. I can save it here. And now my leave adjustment's been added. I can do yearly holidays, so I can create a new holiday. For example, let's see. National Day. And I can choose the date here based upon it, so you can select whatever it is. And then you can save it, recurring one time. So for example, actually, better one maybe Christmas Day. Now, the reason why I'm selecting Christmas Day is that it's recurring every year on the same date. But there are some holidays that change. You can look at it, for example, Martin Luther King holiday Day is always on the first Monday of a specific month. So that changes based upon the calendar. So that would be not recurring, it'd be one time, and then you create it. And then we can save it. Inside here, we have user management. So inside here, I can see all my users. I can click on the 3 dots. I can edit and delete. And inside here, I can see all the information. So this information is actually pulled in from our Disquera people. And all the information's here. I can update the confirmation date, marital status, all this other information. And I can see my teams here. For example, I have a default team. So what is a team? A team means these are people that are grouped based upon the area. So for example, I have sales team. I have a sales manager. The sales manager has to approve all the leave under him. If I have an HR, the HR manager approves all the leave under them. There's different segmentations based upon a company. If not, then you can have one default, and then there's an approver there for all the leave. Let me just go here and edit this. So I can show you. So for example, I have my default, and I can see the person's name here. And I can click on it, and I can see manager, user, 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 user. So David's the manager, and Jim Brown is the user for all this as well. If I want to add another person, I just can type in the name. Like, for example, and just add. And Jermaine Jones. And then I can add it in accordingly. And then it'll reflect here. Next, let's go to leave application. So let's go to leave entitlement. Sorry, leave entitlement. Yes. So this leave entitlement here is this tab. The reason why I want to specifically bring it up is because at a simple glance, I can see the annual leave, the sick leave, and the healthcare leave. So I know exactly how much leave they have for each one. And it's very clear. And I can click on it. I can see earned, carried forward, taken, and adjusted. So for example, this one here, I click on it. I can see here annual leave, taken, adjusted, and the balance. So it's clear on what everyone has, how much they've taken, any adjustment. Now let's go apply for leave. Let's go here and do a new leave application. I can select the leave type. For example, mental health. Select the date. Let's select today's date and apply it. Reason: doing video on leave. And I can see the available leave here, scheduled, leave balance. I can choose if it's a full day, first half, second half. Drop and upload any files here. For example, think of it like your medical certificates that you want to provide and share with them. This is where you can drop it in and we can apply it. After that, let's go to leave request. I can see here all the different requests. And based upon your authorization, someone will be approving this. Currently, I am the admin and I'm also the manager of the default group, so I'm able to approve. But again, it's based upon your authorization here. So I can see the approved status, and I can click here as well and change the view. So for example, I can see here the approved leave, and I can click here and click on this for approve or reject. Also, we can have this view here as well. So I can see pending, approve, and rejected. So this one's a clear slice and dice of it, so I can see at a glance what's going on. And if everything's good, I can reject it or approve it. And you can do this on the mobile app. So you can apply on the mobile app, you can reject on the mobile app. So your boss has no excuse. Oh, I wasn't at a computer. Nope. Use your mobile app to reject. And your employee can't say, well, I'll raise the request when I get to the office or when I get to a computer. Nope. Use your mobile phone, you can request it. Very, very simple and easily. Next, let's go to back to Scare People. Let's click on expenses. Inside here, I can see my expense claim dashboard. I can see my expense claim trends. Is it going up or going down? And is it going down for a good reason or a bad reason? Meaning, is no one going out to see the customers anymore or not taking them out to eat? And it may be justifiable. For example, with COVID, no one's allowed to go out anymore. No one's allowed to meet. Everything's on Zoom. So we can see the claims, we can see the trend and see what's going on. I can see my recent process claims. I can see my pending, draft, approved, and rejected. And I can see my category breakdown here. Now let's go to admin settings. So inside here, I can add members by clicking add members. I can see all the employees here. And if I want to select all, I just can click here and select them all. If I want to select specific ones, like David and James Jones, I select them. And I can add all. Then inside here, I can click on Kung and make him manager. After that, I can go to categories, and inside here, I can see all my different categories. And if I want to add a category, I can click create new category here. For example, maybe I want to do hotel, and I want to select this as default, and I want to save it. Next, let's go back to expense dashboard. And inside here, I can see all the information. Now, please take note, based upon your different authorizations, you'll have access to different things. So for example, under admin settings, that is for your admin. Admin can do almost anything, pretty much, no, you can do everything in your expense. While your managers, the managers can approve your claims based upon your different groups that we just set up. And your users can just apply for claims. And I can go up here and apply for claims, but let's be honest, Your employees should be moving around. They won't be on their laptop. Most likely they'll be using their mobile app. So let's go use the mobile app and see the claims through there. All right. Let me share screen and let me click on my window. So now we're in the mobile app. Inside here, I can click on expense claims and I can see the claims to review, pending, approval, draft, and rejected. And this again, the number of decimal places here is based upon how I've set it up. So inside here it's showing 4, but most companies usually 2, maybe 3. But that's how I set it up, so that's why it shows 4. Now let me go and take a picture. So I'm taking a picture of my good old receipt. Use photo. Now it's scanning. And I can see the merchant names populated, the date, total amount, and now I can select the category. I'm going to say this is, let's see, bowling. All right, bowling sounds fun. Let's click the checkbox. And now it's done. Now I can click on pending. So your boss can go in here and see the pending, approved, rejected, any drafts. And I'm just going to go to admin and I'm going to click start approving here. So your manager will actually be able to go in here and start approving itself. So let's click start approving. Okay, let's see, bowling, rejected. Okay, ramen, accepted. So you can see it's so simple and so easy. Your boss can just go through and reject and accept what he wants. All right, and that was a quick overview of Disquera People.